to the Sometimes Spouse podcast. I am Christy Ogle, Sometimes Spouse, and today is your Monday Business Tips podcast. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the 3 gifts of service. Who you really are, who you're really aligned with. At your core, you're one of these 3. Now, when you begin in business, you're one of the 3. You're not all 3. You have to find other people that can fill in the gaps. And that's where most people fail. They don't ever get other people to fill in the gaps of the service. The beautiful thing about my business and why I think it's been so successful is because we incorporated all 3 into our business. So there's 3 different types of service that align with the true nature of who you are. So when you're going through this, you're just one at your core. Who are you? Are you a skilled producer, a manager leader, or an entrepreneur? So what's the difference in the 3? Number 1, a skilled producer is the artist. This is the person that can pull off whatever the skill is that's needed. A handyman, a painter, a cupcake baker, the person that's got the invention, the person that came up with this amazing product, the doctor that came up with a product that can cure or solve millions of issues, the person that can sell, the person that can go out and do whatever needs to be done. They can serve the community in a sustainable way. They've got an extraordinary talent that consistently meets the needs of the people that they will serve. That's number 1. That is probably 85% of all business owners. Like, they're really good at something. They go out, they start a business, and they don't know how to take care of the other 2 parts of the business. They're amazing. My daughter, she worked at this place called a pie shop. And the owner was an amazing baker. And she taught Abby how to make these amazing pies. But as soon as COVID happened, they shut down. They reopened and they couldn't get their feet on the ground running again. And they went out of business. So they have this extraordinary talent, but they don't know what else to do other than go out and make the donuts, go out and make the pies, go out and sell, go out and provide the service, go out and invent something, a product that's going to change tons of people's lives. You can do that. But if you're no good at these other 2, you're just going to spin your wheels for years and years and years until you learn to get the other 2. The second one is a manager leader. This is where they constantly meet the needs of the skilled producer, and they consistently serve the community in a sustainable way. Effective leaders have management skills, but managers don't necessarily have leadership skills. You have to cultivate and find the leaders. It's kind of like they could walk the walk, talk the talk, but not walk the walk. I had so many franchisees that they could manage people, but they couldn't lead them out of a wet paper bag. They knew how to manage the jobs, but they couldn't lead their people to do the work that needed to be done in a timely manner. They could meet the needs of their skilled producers, but they couldn't lead them because they had no leadership skills whatsoever. They thought it just came to them magically. Kind of like Abby at that pie place that she used to work at. That's my youngest daughter, by the way. And she would go in and she'd bake the pies, but she'd have no management and no leadership skill, no leadership from her supervisors. So it was like she was spinning her wheels. They would communicate with her via text, and that's the only thing she ever saw out of the people. Number 3, remember, you're one of these at your core. Are you the skilled producer? Have you decided it's okay? None of them are better than the other. Are you the manager leader? Are you number 3, the entrepreneur? The entrepreneur is the creator of a vision. They attract manager leaders. They have enormous risk tolerance to be able to personally weather economical and emotional ups and downs for business, and they're willing to take a significant risk, significant personal risk. They work with their manager leaders to create a system that consistently empowers skilled producers to meet all of the community that they serve in a sustainable way and taking care of the needs of the community that they work with. Now, my husband is the entrepreneur. He will take the risk every single time. He knows that we can put all our money on this and we can lose everything and we can come back bigger and better than before. We've done it several times. We've run out of money. We've lost everything and we come back bigger and better the next time around. Now, I personally, it was really hard for me in the beginning of business to be able to do this sort of thing. I'm more of the manager leader. I like to consistently meet the needs of the skilled producers. I like to attract people with those management skills and teach them leadership. I like to cultivate and find leaders to grow our businesses. And we also had a skilled producer in the beginning. So those 3 things. Now, 7 years later, I've learned the different areas. So I will go all in on something, knowing that we could lose everything and just rebuild it. I'm okay with that. But the majority of people aren't okay with risking it all. Now, out of the 3, which one do you think makes the most money in the beginning of a business? The skilled producer. The skilled producer makes more money in the beginning, but they also meet a certain tipping point that they no longer can make any more money. There's only 40 hours, 60 hours, 80 hours that they can work. They've got to learn to manage and lead people to scale their business, because if they don't, they can only get so big. The skilled producer in the beginning makes the most money. Think of Stephen Curry with the basketball team. I said his name wrong. My daughter would kill me. He makes millions and millions of dollars a year. The manager leader, the coach, he makes a couple $1 million a year. So the manager leader is the second one that makes the most money. And the third one, the owner of that basketball team, is still not made a dime on that basketball team. But eventually, the team he's building will make him millions, if not billions of dollars. He knows it's an investment. That's what entrepreneurs know. It's an investment. So you're one of the 3. If you're that entrepreneur that takes the risk every time, but you don't have a skilled producer to pull it off, or a manager leader, you're going to be jumping from business to business to business. And that's not necessarily good. You want a good manager leader to stay in there and manage the team so that it can scale and grow. Now, you're 10 or 15 years into business, the entrepreneur could make the most money, then the manager leader, and then the skilled producer. So it's really depends on the longevity of your game. There's very few entrepreneurs, there's very few Zuckerbergs out there, there's very few jobs out there that they make just millions and millions by selling what they created relatively quickly. So you have to be in it for the long haul. Overnight successes usually take about 15 years. So I ask you, which are you? Comment below. Let me know on the podcast. Which are you? Are you number one, a skilled producer? Are you a manager leader, or are you an entrepreneur? Who are you at your true nature? What are you? I'm Christy Ogle, and thank you for joining me for the Sometimes Spouse podcast.